This is your news bulletin from Power 102 Digital.
It is Thursday, the 8th of February, 2024. Good morning, Trinidad and Tobago. This is news to 6 a.m. on News Power Digital. A mystery boat off the waters in Tobago was found overturned and leaking oil 200 meters off the coast of the Cove Industrial Estate and Business Park. In an emergency press conference held yesterday, Wednesday, TATA Chief Secretary Fali Augustine says the Tobago Emergency Operations Center received a report shortly after 7 a.m. about an overturned vessel. Augustine was unable to confirm if everyone was on board at the time of the overturn. The Chief Secretary said, quote, as a result, it has resulted in the THA having to engage in an emergency basis, an operation to have some recovery and discovery on the matter. He added, at this moment, we have representatives from TEMA, the Ministry of Energy, Kaizen Environmental Services. That meeting is to work out areas of collaboration among us so we can take all the environmental impact assessments and would have pursuant to the overturning of a vessel and a potential oil spill. He said the green light was given to Kaizen, which has equipment and implements which would be stored in Scarborough in an effort to mitigate further environmental damage from the oil spill. TEMA, he said, can use peat moss, which absorbs hydrocarbon and allows for the removal. The TNT Coast Guard is also involved and were said to be on the scene. Massy Holdings Limited announced yesterday the early retirement of Gervais Warner, the group president and CEO. One who has served as the group's CEO for 14 years will retire on his 59th birthday on April 6, 2024, Massy said in a statement issued yesterday. It said over the course of the next 2 months, Warner will work alongside David Alfonso, the chairman of the Integrated Retail Portfolio, who will succeed Warner as the group CEO. Both Warner and Alfonso were born in 1965, according to the Massy 2023 annual report. The announcement that Warner's pending retirement comes amid an investigation being conducted by senior counsel Kerwin Garcia into allegations made by Massy's former executive vice president and group general counsel, Angelique Parson-Potter, at the group's 100th annual meeting at the Hilton Trinidad on December 18, 2023. Parliament must be able to scrutinize the appointments of acting police commissioners and deputies, says opposition leader Kamla Prasad-Bissessa. The former PM says the government's move to bring legislation to change this by removing the need for parliamentary approval is a blatant attempt to undermine public transparency and accountability. On Tuesday, Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley said the government will bring legislation in the next few weeks or days to Parliament to allow the Police Service Commission to make acting appointments for Commissioner of Police and Deputy Commissioners of Police without having to seek parliamentary approval. The Cabinet of Trinidad and Tobago agrees to the suspension of the quota and registration system for cement. While the suspension, there will be no quota on the volume of cement allowed for import. The system for cement was instituted on January 1st, 2021, with an initial ceiling of 75,000 tons of cement being allowed for importation. This decision made to the Ministry of Trade's monitoring of the market conditions of the cement industry and a recent announcement by Trinidad Cement Limited on February 5th, 2024, of its intention to raise the price of cement by 6.63% for Premium Plus and 7.69% for its Eco Cement with effect from February 19th, 2024. The price adjustment is the fourth undertaken by TCL in the last 26 months. U.S. Ambassador to TNT Candice Bond on Tuesday donated 4 explosive trace detection machines to the Airports Authority of TNT. She made the donation on behalf of the U.S. Transportation Safety Administration, TSA, at the Piarco International Airport. The devices will streamline security screening for passengers by improving and speeding up detection of suspected explosives on carry-on baggage, a release the embassy said. The devices are each about as large as a standard printer. Each machine is valued at US $50,000. Since 2021, the TSA has donated aviation security equipment to increase the technical screening capacity of screening partners within Trinidad and Tobago. On Thursday, a moderate to high concentration of surge of Saharan dust is forecast to move across Trinidad and Tobago, spreading across the Lesser Antilles. Another reinforcing moderate to high dust surge will move across TNT on Saturday, February 10th. For the next 10 days, air quality across TNT will range from moderate to unhealthy for sensitive persons and groups. During the days of the Sahara dust event, you may experience symptoms which should decrease as dust levels are reduced. In news of the region, teachers again took to the streets across Ghana in support of Ghana's teachers' union strike over what it describes as the government's failure to engage in free collective bargaining since August 2020. The government retaliated by announcing an end to deductions of membership dues on behalf of the union. The teachers' strike is expected to last 2 weeks, as was the case on Monday. They went out in their numbers, teaching teachers down tools and armed with placards to chant their displeasure at the 6.5% public servants increase and other issues like the $8,000 uniform allowance. And finally, Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has rejected Hamas's proposed ceasefire terms, saying total victory in Gaza is possible within months. He was speaking after Hamas laid out a series of demands in response to an Israeli-backed ceasefire proposal. He said negotiations with the group were not going anywhere and described their terms as bizarre. Talks between negotiators are continuing. And that is news to 6 a.m. right here on News Power Digital. We have major news coming your way at 7 a.m. Good morning.
Up to date and credible. Power 102 Digital.
Doing 7.5 minutes after the hour is 6 o'clock on this, the 8th day of February. Yep, it's around the corner, guys. It's around the corner. Yep, Valentine's Day. It's around the corner. Anyway, good morning to you. Of course, on the show, you just heard from Paul Richards. We'll hear from Wendell Stephen. We've got Ruben and Shane in the mix. My name is Steve Khan. Let's get straight into it, see what's happening. Traffic-wise, I've nothing really to tell you about. No accidents I'm seeing, but it is beginning to build. Chase Village towards Chaguanas, you've got some traffic there. Nothing in South. A little bit of traffic from Trinidad City towards UE. After that, it's just volume heading to your destination. All right, 26 degrees at Piarco International Airport. Same in our beautiful sister Isle of Tobago. And the dust in your face is coming. Oliver Man Warren, good morning to you. Anthony Tinto, Godcilia from Valencia, Gloria Gray, Marcia Rock out in Florida, Wendy and James, Carol Guevara, Yen Mogains, Beefy Smith out in Goodwood, Tobago, Joanna Robinson, good morning. Dennis Passard, Wayne B. out in Trinity City. Good morning. Doreen Pierre. Morning, D. Pierre. Rena Boodoo Jennings, Edwin Marshall, CJ out in New York, John Keto. Good morning to you guys. Send us a message via YouTube and Facebook. Let's see. Yeah, that's it. Good morning to you, Paul Richards.
Morning, Steve Khan. Morning, everyone. Good Thursday morning. The Thursday before Carnival. In a week, it'll be all over.
Yep. Yeah, less than a week. Less than a week, it will come and it will go. But it's fete after fete after fete. Boat rides, fete, this, that. Ah, boy. Non-stop pace.
Well, two big events last night. See, Hyatt Lime didn't seem as packed as past years from the pictures I've seen on the videos. And Patrice seems like she did pretty well too.
Yeah. But Patrice, the gates at 9:30, the gates were not open as yet.
They said they opened at 9:40.
Yeah, it started late. And then there was the fete in the Oval last evening as well. So everybody out and about.
I had a great time with DJ Pillows.
Yeah. So did I.
And sound system bed bugs.
Yeah. I went to the fete where there was bed sheets, DJ bed sheet. Yeah, I did that. and with a guest appearance by DJ Blanket.
Yeah, he was really
That
good.
was,
He put out,
yeah, he's fabulous.
his music was really, really good.
Yeah, really turned it up this week. And of course, yeah, I went to bed early last night. I just couldn't make, man. And then I woke up before my alarm saying, no, I was up and about. Good morning to you, Dan Raj. Thank you for sending a message via WhatsApp at 318-1021. All right, like Wendell went out. Oh, Wendell is off. Richard is in today. Sorry. I even forgot what day it was. Today's Thursday.
Because you partied so late last evening.
Yeah.
You partied so late.
I just realized it's Thursday. I thought it was Friday. Ooh, okay.
Yeah, so those are among the many events today. A lot of stuff on today also. Beach House, this, that, the other. Yeah, Voice, Vibes with Voice later on at the Savannah.
Tonight, yeah. Extempo.
Didn't Gypsy win last night?
The Extempo was Wednesday.
I think it was last night. I think I saw the Gypsy won. I think I saw the Gypsy won.
Oh, Val is telling me Gypsy won Extempo.
Yeah, it was last night and Gypsy won.
Tonight.
I think Black Sage and somebody else came in later on. I think Gypsy won from what I saw. And they said he was really good too, like he had a point to prove.
And he proved that point. So congratulations to you, Gypsy, Winston, Gypsy Peters.
Yeah, because I mean, the calls for him to pull up the Calypso Monarch continue, because you can't.
Let's say happy birthday going out to Sherwin Winchester. Today is his birthday. Yeah. Happy birthday
I think
to you.
Squeezy Rankin also did very well last night. I'm trying to look for the thing I saw on Facebook earlier today.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think Gypsy won.
Yeah, he did.
I think Gypsy is the new Extempo champion. You know, I saw some pieces of it being streamed, but I didn't particularly pay attention to it. Good morning to Tobago. Some boat overturning the waters off the cove.
Well, it
overturned,
and it drifted towards the cove and where Magdalena is. But it's leaking oil and gas, and they said they were looking for anybody attached to that boat, but they have not found anyone.
Very strange development.
Yeah. So,
but the fact that it had oil and gas in it that could be leaked means it wasn't an old wreck.
It's a big boat too.
And it's a pretty big craft, big boat. So I don't know where that come from. I don't know if they've identified any markings that could say what the craft is or where it came from.
Yeah.
They said they found no bodies on board.
No, they didn't find anything.
But then they don't know how long it out they drifted around that the animals could eat them up.
They don't.
Because if it was out there for a while overturned and just drifting, the fish and the aquatic creatures would have had a feast if there were bodies on board. But the teacher called an emergency meeting with Chief Secretary Fali Augustine, bringing in the Ministry of Energy, TEMA, and Kaizen Environmental Services. The Trinidad and Tobago Coast Guard is also involved. They're trying to Kaizen has equipment apparently where they can put out peat moss, which absorbs hydrocarbon and allows you to pick up the peat moss, which becomes soaked with the hydrocarbon to mitigate the further spread and potential environmental damage. So we hope they get that contained. Very strange occurrence. You know, it's another strange occurrence. Another thing that makes you go, Massy Holdings yesterday announced the early retirement of Jerry Warner. Things that make you go, And interestingly enough, he is to be succeeded by somebody who is the same age as him. They were both born in 1965, according to Massy's 2023 annual report. So
things that make you go really, Good morning to my friend Patos that sent that to me this morning.
he's
Morning,
taking early retirement, apparently. He will be 59 on the 6th of April, 2024. I didn't realize Jerry Warner was young. And of course, this all comes now, this announcement, following the announcement, the whole controversy Massy endured in October, November last year.
Yeah.
At their 100th annual meeting at the Hilton Trinidad, where then Group General Counsel, now resigned, Angelique Pastor-Potter, raised the issue of some bizarre practices in her opinion.
Yeah, I walk in back. I go Massy.
And the subsequent announcement by Massy of an independent investigation being led by Senior Counsel Kerwin Garcia. So it's a very curious development. It's a very, very curious development. I didn't see Julius Warner's retirement on the horizon at all.
No, I didn't.
And maybe this is just to let the company move forward in a less controversial manner. But I mean, think about it. That retirement package, Steve.
Oh, yeah. Woo-hoo.
I mean, staying one more year ain't going to make much difference. But think about that retirement package.
That retirement package.
You could probably run the country with that retirement package.
Oh, yeah. Oh, definitely.
But good for him. He's done very, very well at the helm of Massy for the last 14 years. He's done very, very well. He's transformed Massy from Neil & Massy into Massy Holdings. He's changed high-low to Massy chain. They've diversified. They've extended up the Caribbean chain. They've gone into the North American market. He has done very, very, very well as Massy's CEO and group president for the last 14 years. So, I mean, and between me and you, I know when you retire at that level, you don't really fully retire. There's a lot that Jervis Warner can continue to do at 65, unless he just wants to relax and retire. Who knows? Maybe he has other plans.
Maybe he has other plans. You never know.
You think we see Senator Warner just now?
Well, Senator Richards.
I've learned that anything is possible in this world.
That's so true. Eh? Anything is
never
possible.
Say never. So David Alfonso, it's not Alfonso. I said Alfonso earlier on a couple of times. It's Alfonso, who is now the chairman of the Integrated Retail Portfolio, is going to be working alongside Mr. Warner for the next couple of months, 2 months or so. February, March, April. That's really the start of April. He retire on his birthday on April 6th. What a birthday present package that will be.
Here's the check. Thank you.
That check done in the bank already, Steve.
It's been transferred.
My money done transferred already, and
long time.
Calculating that for a while now. So we will see how it goes. All the best to Mr. Warner, and thank you for your service. I mean, Massy is a group that we really have a lot to be proud about in Trinidad and Tobago. And we will see how it goes.
Yeah. Speaking of money, one person, one player won $1 million last night in Lotto.
It's only 1 million?
No. He won, he had 5 numbers with the multiplier. Lotto is now, has rolled over to $6 million for Saturday's draw. But he had 5 numbers with the multiplier.
Okay. The multiplier can get that much money?
With the multiplier, yeah.
$1
million. I better check my ticket.
I do very badly, so I gotta check tickets that I buy.
You have 180 days.
I just check tickets like weeks after.
Yeah, once within 180 days, it's valid.
On NLCB's website.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations, that person that was going to have a happy carnival.
Damn right.
Well, we had a press conference from the Prime Minister on Tuesday,
Mm-hmm.
who said that the government will bring legislation in the next few weeks or days to Parliament to allow the Police Service Commission to make acting appointments for Commissioner of Police and the Deputy Commissioners of Police without having to seek parliamentary approval. I know this thing changes so much, I can't even keep track of what it was 3-4 years ago.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's the announcement from the Prime Minister on Tuesday. He said the HE is drafting the amendment which requires a special majority, which clearly it will not get now, given the leader of the opposition's announcement, present statement yesterday, which said that clearly there's a need to be able to scrutinize the appointments of Parliament, of police commissioners and the deputies. Mrs. Pisabi-Sessa said, by removing the need for parliamentary approval, it's a blatant attempt, in her opinion, to undermine public transparency and accountability in the process. Which suggests that there is a question mark over the Police Service Commission, in her opinion, or implies. I'm not sure how I feel about this, to be very honest. I have to think about it. I'm not sure how I feel about it. On one hand, I always ask the question, okay, has it been a problem in the past? Is there something to fix? You understand? Has it been an issue in the past? Because right now, and it comes at a curious time. I'll tell you why it comes at a curious time. There are 3 names that have been forwarded by the Police Service Commission for debate in the Parliament. I think those names were forwarded just before the end of last year, which have not yet been debated. Am I wrong, producers? Producers send me messages of 2 main producers. And those 3 names includes, I think, Wendell Lucas, a woman, a female, and another male, excuse me. And normally they debate those things pretty quickly. You understand? Once it hit the order paper, it's debated in the next sitting of the House of Representatives. But they have not been debated, which I've been asking how normal is it, and most people say it's quite unusual for it not to be debated expeditiously. And now that the government is drafting legislation to take it out of the hands of Parliament for the Police Service Commission to carry out this act. So it's not yet debated. So it's kind of, I don't believe in coincidence. You all know that, right? I don't believe anything with human beings is coincidental. We might not see the pattern. We might not be aware of all the circumstances that led to the decisions or the occurrences, but I have no belief in anything called coincidence. Some things happened that you may not have seen that led to what has happened now that you're saying, oh, that's a coincidence. No. We not understand all the variables or all the mechanisms involved, right? But this is a curious development in the context of the names having been sent to Parliament by the very same Police Service Commission for debate, for approval essentially by the government, because the government has a majority in the lower house. You understand? Well, technically in both houses. And when it's equal on both sides, and then the chair in the Senate has a casting vote if it's an equal, as happened 3 weeks ago. And it is just a curious juxtaposition of events. Is it that the government doesn't want to debate those 3 names? Question mark.
Question mark.
Is it that the government is dissatisfied with the names that the Police Service Commission has brought forward in this case? Question mark. And so the Prime Minister says the reason for it is that it is, he used the word plus bureaucracy, obfuscating bureaucracy or something like that. I'm paraphrasing. So it is a curious development, right? But to add a nuance that's important, he said the Police Service Commissioner make acting appointments. I believe those 3 names may not be acting. there may be substantive appointments before the House. But this legislation is to make acting commissioner and acting deputy commissioner. There was something that happened some years ago where they changed something to allow for so much happens, you can't even keep track of everything.
Yeah, I'm not going to tell you that.
There was something that changed. I know they changed something to keep Gary Griffith on. And then they changed something else to, and it's just a lot of confusion. Anyway, cement prices are going up. So the cabinet announced yesterday it agreed to the suspension of the quota and registration system for cement.
To keep the price down.
To give options to keep the price down, to manage the price increases. So
that's TCL.
TCL has adjusted the price in 4 times in the last 26 months, just over 2 years.
Yeah.
So this the suspension of this quota registration system was in a bid to manage the price regime of cement.
I think it went by what? It was intended to go by 7%?
6.63% for Premium Plus and 7.69% for its Eco Cement. That's TCS Eco Cement with effect from the 19th of February, 2024. So now that you could basically a suspension of the quota means you could import. The ceiling is 75,000 tons. With the suspension of the quota regulation, you could import more to bring more into the country from various sources to mitigate this price increase. Basically, it's a move, in my opinion, please correct me if I'm wrong, I know especially Saudi, to manage TCLs. Doesn't TCL have a monopoly in Trinidad and Tobago?
Why? Well, I think they do.
You still have Cemex here?
I don't know.
Was that absorbed by TCL?
And we had Rock Hard as well. I don't know what happened to them.
So it's clearly a decision by the government to mitigate the effect on the construction industry. Because increases in price of cement certainly will lead to increases in all the construction going on, state and otherwise.
Exactly.
And all those estimates for construction will, as much as that seem like it's just 6.63%, but generally 7 and 8% for the two brands of cement. That could have a significant effect on pricing, because imagine that per bag per unit. And
not only that too, Paul, we're in the dry season, and this is when
this is the building time.
This is construction time.
This is construction time.
So
it's a protection mechanism the government has instituted to manage the cost to the construction sector, both state construction, because remember the government is building houses too.
Yeah, when they do need to see
government is building houses, and the government has contractors who will have to buy cement to build houses. So those estimates for those houses will go up if they don't have other sources of cement.
Exactly. If your
budget in the private sector too,
it's going to go up. Yeah.
And it will hit the private sector too. When the cost that people would have initially agreed to, although all those mortgage purchases and house purchases have clauses that if there's an extraordinary increase in the price of material, your price will probably go up, right? They have those protection clauses in those contracts. Anyway, so interesting development. The U.S. government, through its ambassador to TNT, Candace Bond, donated 4 explosive trace detection machines to Airports Authority. Right? She made the donation on behalf of TSA.
What is it for? What?
Explosive trace detection machines. The ones that when you go to US and UK ports, that they pass by a suitcase.
Yeah.
To see if there's any trace explosive that you could be carrying onto the aircraft. I got pulled over in London once for 2 reasons. You know, sometimes let me just touch something I don't know where to touch it. Because I had a million computer cords all over the bag thrown indiscriminately and not folded and not wrapped properly. So when it went through the scanner, you see all these wires and this device and all these wires going. You gotta say, hey, you come across here. We have in that bag, babe. There's a lot of wire. What do you have in that bag? You know me for gadgets. I said
Mhm.
my computer, my iPad, and a lot of peripherals, including cameras and stuff here. All that in one bag. Open that bag, babe. Open the bag. Let me turn on that computer. Turn on that camera. Turn on the iPad. Yeah, Mr. Man. I said, in future you should consider folding those cords in a neat manner so that they don't look so suspicious when they're going through the machine. Let me thank you for the advice. Because you know I do no such thing.
Yeah,
I am one of those throw packers. I don't fold anything.
trust
I am
me,
a suitcase
he
packer.
is a throw packer. He is
Ask Zena.
in his car.
I do hang up the places.
Well, yeah, we see that.
The other things, not so much. Yeah, so you see people who sit down and have the patience to fold all those cords and tape them and fold every shirt and every pair of underwear and every pair of trousers and things. That is not me.
Really?
Throw it, jump on the suitcase, pull the zip. There we go.
I roll everything and put it in.
Watch, clearly.
Behave.
Clearly you roll, Steve. Clearly.
Yeah, I'm a master packer.
No, I have ADHD, so I have patience to those things. I have attention deficit issues. Bad. So you see the detail, just sit down and fold that and put it and fold it and put it in. No.
Yeah, I roll everything, pack it up. I use every inch of space. So if I pack shoes and stuff, I put stuff in your shoes, you know, like your
Good for you.
colognes and so on.
Good for you. Good for you. That's not me.
I use
right,
every inch of space.
People like me, and I'm not somebody who suffers with respiratory diseases, to be
Oh,
very
God.
honest.
Let me tell you, Paul, before you even start that, it's here.
That's what I was going to go to, Steve.
It's here. Now tell them what's here.
I don't have this time.
As we wait.
It's a return a message.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry.
I don't have respiratory issues generally. It has to be really bad. I mean, really bad for me to feel, and I know it's not the flu, for me to be feeling congested, nasal, as I am for the last couple of days. And it's here, and it's going to be here until at least Sunday. The tail end of the intense part is going to be here until Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll start to, thank God, dissipate into Monday and Tuesday.
Mm-hmm.
But I looked at that satellite picture, and that is a huge plume
Mm-hmm.
that is now here.
Huge.
If you have respiratory issues, and even if you don't, because I don't, and it's affecting me really, really badly. If you are sensitive to air quality issues,
Like Wendell.
over the next 10 days, I mean, your eyes scratching you, you're congested. I have
Sneezing.
actually throat for the last 2 days,
Yeah.
sneezing, you know. Poor Evie. Good morning, Evie. Poor Evie, who's just come off that terrible flu. And, you know, this is really, really bad. And it's going to hit you hard in the next couple of days, the next 2 days. So please take the necessary precautions. If you're asthmatic, make sure you have your inhaler. Evie.
What did she say?
That woman's stubborn.
I couldn't tell you that.
Anyway, if you have respiratory issues, you need to not take any chances and make sure you have your inhaler. I mean, I have to go to the pharmacy and get my Otrovine today because I'm totally out.
Really?
I used like 3 bottles in the last half a week alone. And that's just to be able to sleep without feeling congested.
Mm-hmm.
So it is going to be bad. If you could wear a mask, wear a mask.
Yeah, you go outside, wear your mask for sure.
You're going outside, wear a mask. You know? And if you could have filters or nebulizers in your house, it will help a lot. Air quality devices. So I don't know. Have you been following? I mean, it's not, unfortunately, there's so much happening in the world that we have not focused on it for a while. But that Israel-Palestinian conflict is, to me, one of the worst tragedies. One of the worst tragedies I've seen in my lifetime. And this helps to
follow it
with the respiratory issues. You see this?
Yeah, just keep sipping some water every so often.
Drink water.
That's all.
Not juice, not beer, not alcohol, water.
Water.
Just
keep sipping it every so often.
Your mucous membranes. Israel's Prime Minister, Benjamin Netanyahu, has rejected Hamas's proposed ceasefire terms, saying, quote, total victory in Gaza is possible within months. What does that mean? What does that mean to
no clue.
Prime Minister Netanyahu? Does it mean totally eradicating his opponents?
I have not followed that for a long, long time.
I don't know. What does total victory mean? Given what we've seen so far. And let me put fast. Let me say fast. Let me say fast. Hamas started this. Hamas started this nonsense by attacking Israel, who have the right to defend themselves.
Yeah.
Okay, let me put that out there before people jump down my throat.
Yeah.
But when is it no longer defense and now eradication? At what point does it stop being defense? Or does defense mean total eradication of the opponent? So that, quote unquote, don't try this again, so that they're unable to ever try this in history again. Is that what total victory means? I don't know. Children, schools, hospitals. You understand?
Yeah.
And again, Hamas is a terrorist group, organization. Who started this?
Yes, they did.
Okay. So I'm not absolving Hamas of the responsibility for starting this. But I mean, I don't know. It is Prime Minister Netanyahu says negotiations with the group were not going anywhere and described their terms as bizarre. And then you have the backing of the US and you have the backing of the UK. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, whatever you do is basically legitimized, whether it's 100 children today or people in hospital tomorrow. So he says total victory is possible in months. So what that basically says is Israel has no intention of stopping until total victory is achieved, whatever total victory for Israel looks like in the eyes of Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. I don't know. We live in an ugly, ugly world.
Very much so. Let's take a few people send us messages, a good bit actually. Josie Richardson, good morning. Nasir Mohammed, hope all is well. She said you do a very good job, Paul. Carol Joseph, Wendy and James, Cynthia Ramos.
When I say they started this, I meant this phase of the conflict. Come on, you know that. Yeah.
Trinidad Margot out in Florida, Randy Kelly, Rena Budu Jennings, Karen Yipnow, Showin Ke, good morning. Okay, Karen Yipnow, I don't know what is he doing, Bravo story.
I saw somebody post something that what some woman tried to do to Dwayne Bravo was horrible. Tried to put up Dwayne Bravo. I don't know what that means. I didn't see that. Apparently some woman put up some video with something about Dwayne Bravo. I did not see it. I don't know what it's about, but clearly it's something negative. that she tried to report on Dwayne Bravo, but I don't know. So,
All right. If Wendell knows, let me know what it is. Faria Hayatali, good morning. Gamasuas Horsley, good morning. Out in Tabakit, CPT Singh. Trini in Boston, good morning. Hill Benj, good morning. Says the world is listening. Chris Tuesday out in Washington, D.C. Max out in Atlanta, Georgia. Patricia Defoe, good morning. Some people send this morning as they watch us on YouTube and on Facebook. All right. So good morning to you all. Thank you so much for joining us.
so Jervis Warner is retiring in 2 months. Surprise, surprise.
From Massy.
Usually retirement is 60 or 65, or it's private sector, so they could retire. Actually, they could go when you want. They could have arrangements, but he's taking early retirement. Interesting. After the imbroglio with Angelique Panzer-Potter.
I see dead people.
I see. Well, and the allegations of bizarre rituals at their AGMs and all the money being spent. In Mrs. Panzer-Potter's words, scarce forex being spent on these trips and this Delphi group. God, I remember working this morning, boy.
Yeah.
You know? Good. Okay, Corey Giltz. Let me see what you're saying here. And that's what happen when you talk about Israel and Palestine. You could never win because everybody will go back 100 years and right. So what I'm saying may be very off, but what I'm saying is people are dying. Right? You cannot discuss current genocidal conflict without speaking of the previous 75 years of Israel occupation. And that's what you get, very, very strong, polarized views on this conflict. So you're never going to win an argument or discussion with that because people have very strong views, which they're entitled to, and you are never going to. My point is people are dying on both sides. Right? That's my point. So, Winston Gypsy Peters, congratulations, yes. And Freestyle Champ Squeezy Rankin. Yep, so Gypsy, one title, one down, one more to go.
Yeah. Good morning to you, Miss Bon Air West. She just sent me a WhatsApp here regarding this Dwayne Bravo thing. Yeah.
What is it?
I don't think I'll read it on here. I'm not getting that vibe to read it on here.
Well, it's delicious.
No, she's just saying, what is your reason?
I don't know.
So,
I don't know. But from what I saw on social media, the couple posts I saw, they were in defense of Dwayne Bravo. But I don't know the details of what this issue is with the female and Bravo. I don't know, so I'm not willing to comment on it. Anyway, 6:44. Let's roll down to the newspapers for today.
let me see if I get the results of a poll on time. Oops, I didn't.
Right, it is Thursday, the 8th of February, 2024. Let's start with the Express. Parliament oversight needed. Parliamentarians must be able to scrutinize the appointments of acting commissioner of police and deputy, says leader of the opposition, Kamala Prasad-Bissessar. So that will be the subject of our question this morning. The Caitlin Sultan is the new 2024 Schools Intellectual National Carnival Chutney Soca Monarch competition. So I've always found it curious that they have to put intellectual chutney monarch to differentiate it from other chutneys competitions. Tourists not too worried about crime. Of course, Felicia Rashad is making the rounds in touring Trinidad and Tobago. She's getting a lot of media coverage. Fear after home invasion of Caribbean Glass. At Caribbean Glass. Search for bodies. Vessel runs aground in Tobago. Beach is polluted. Spill alarm for Tobago. A massive vessel overturns on a reef. Irela needs to establish police inspector. Well, those are from the day before. And Nyla signs sweet deal. She snagged an international recording deal and
She did.
went up to sign it recently. So congratulations to her.
I made a video of that yesterday.
Moving now to the Guardian. Marshall leads the pack ahead of Calypso Monarch finals. Massy Group CEO wanted to retire early. Famed U.S. actor in awe of magical TNT. Rescue team believes no souls on board sunken vessel of Tobago. U.S. donates ETD to Airports Authority. Those are scanning devices. TTPS defends changes to fuel renewal process. Tobago coasts in danger after sunken boat causes oil spill. Relatives to flee San Juan after friends killed hours apart. And Caitlin Marcus takes schools Chutney Soca Monarch crown. Congratulations to her. Let's move now. And construction industry calls for cement competition. You see, we were talking about that earlier, and that's why I guess the government took that decision to suspend the quota regulation. Let's move now to the news day. U.S. donates bomb detection devices for airport. Caitlin Sultan, congratulations to you, young lady. Win school intellectual Chutney Soca Monarch. HDC worker robbed, shot in Olera Heights development. Government removes cement quota to offset TCL price increases. Felicia Rashad tours TNT. She's known in the TV world as Mrs. Claire Huxtable from the Cosbys. Hadco Phase 2 plays first in large band on Saturday competition. Digicel Foundation Shell Fund Barataria Agri Initiative. Judiciary admits to probate problems. COP not backing down an FUL renewal policy. 2 mover men freed of 2008 double murder. And Rowley rejects invitation to UNC crime talks. So that story we would have covered after the Prime Minister's press conference on Tuesday. So those are trending stories in your Guardian, Express, and Newsday for today. Thursday, 8th February 2024.
Yeah. All right. So let's get the results of our morning poll that we asked you yesterday. The question was, should the opposition name their team for the proposed crime talks? That was our poll yesterday. I'll give you the results right after this.
The crowning of the Chutney Soca Monarch, the Queen of Chutney Soca. It's Chutney Royalty at Skinner Park, San Fernando. Saturday, 10th February, 8 p.m. 12 of the biggest names in Chutney Soca, together with the biggest names on the carnival circuit. Ravi B, Nisha B, and Karma. Nishard M, Young Bretta and Pimpin. Ruplal G, Nival Chaitla, Kalayak Dance Academy, DJ Anna and Simo. Hosted by Big Rich and international soca media influencer Carla Henry from the USA. It's the biggest night. It's the biggest party. It's the colors of Chutney. The party starts immediately following the competition. Wear white and enjoy the colored cannons as we herald the colors of unity of our blessed nation, TNT. The Chutney Soca Monarch 2024 is sponsored by media partners IETV, Boom 94, Lit 102.3, Power 102 Digital. Social media partners West Indian Chutney Music, Masala Entertainment. Corporate sponsors Harrier Sweets, B Mobile, Blue Waters, Stamina Energy, Tourism Trinidad Limited, Caribbean Airlines, the official airline of CSM. Our presenting sponsors, the National Carnival Commission of TNT Limited and the Ministry of Tourism, Culture, and the Arts.
Brass fans, get ready for Carnival Monday night. We are back. Brass Bacchanal. 10 outstanding brass bands, all vying for combined prize pool of $500,000. What a thrilling musical showdown.
Brass Bacchanal, a spectacular event hosted by the National Carnival Commission.
Carnival Monday night, February 12th. The festivities kick off at 9 p.m. at the iconic Queen's Park Savannah in Port of Spain.
The energy promises to be contagious. Performances unforgettable. Secure your tickets now at Cachet stores nationwide, Java Nation, Port of Spain, and Food Hall of Piaco Plaza, NCC Box Office, Queen's Park Savannah, and online at islandetickets.com. Brass Bacchanal, where energy equals contagion.
All right, that's on Carnival Monday night. Our poll question from yesterday. Should the opposition name their team for the proposed crime talks? Well, 67% said yes.
Good morning, Ragoobarsingh. I apologize for the 122nd wait.
Morning, Richard.
Morning.
Did you apologize for having us on the audience meeting?
No, I didn't. But
Okay.
actually, I had the opportunity to hear the headlines while I waited.
2 whole minutes. Okay, I apologize again. So our question this morning stems from the opposition's response to the Prime Minister's statement about legislation being drafted by the Attorney General to move the acting appointments of Commissioner of Police and Deputy Commissioners of Police out of Parliament and into the remit of the Police Service Commission. So our question this morning is,
do you agree with taking the acting appointments of Commissioner of Police and Deputy Commissioner of Police out of Parliament and into the remit of the Police Service Commission? Is it that they're taking the Commissioner of Police into that arena too?
yeah, for acting.
Or for the acting position?
Yeah, for acting, not substantive.
Substantive. Okay.
Yeah, not substantive. Yeah.
So do you agree with taking the acting appointments of Commissioner of Police and Deputy Commissioner of Police out of Parliament and into the remit of the Police Service Commission? I mean, the poll is pretty much self-explanatory. So do you agree with that?
As I asked you, is when I see these things, I ask, has there been a problem in the past? The Prime Minister said it's an unnecessary bureaucracy, and I'm paraphrasing. Those are his exact words.
There is unnecessary bureaucracy for acting. Why not substantive? There always seems to be a reluctance on part of politicians to give up power in terms and let institutions be that independent.
Yeah.
They always like to keep a little bit of oversight over service commissions or independent statutory authorities or whatever it is.
But it's acting, because sometimes I think in the past once there was a situation where somebody was going on vacation and it had to come to Parliament to approve the acting position for somebody to go on vacation.
Yeah.
No,
So
I
poll
get it.
question.
So do you agree with
Go ahead, Richard.
but do you agree with taking the acting appointments of Commissioner of Police and Deputy Commissioner of Police out of Parliament and into the remit of the Police Service Commission?
Yeah. Good morning, caller.
Good morning, gentlemen. Sandy Grandy, yes.
Thank you, Grandy. Hi, Rich, right there. Wayne B says yes to the poll. Max says yes to the poll. Jaron on WhatsApp at 3181021 says yes, I agree. All right, 222-8255, and of course, North Americans, toll free 866-525-1099. Of course, on Facebook, on WhatsApp, like Karen Yipnow on Facebook says yes. Donna Leeling on Facebook says yes. What says you, caller?
I don't think so.
You don't think so?
That's a no, but that has to be a no.
All righty. Yeah. Finbar Collins says yes. Slick Money Grip says 100% yes. So 222-8255, toll free North Americans, 866-525-1099.
Do you agree with taking the acting appointments of Commissioner of Police and Deputy Commissioners of Police out of the hands of Parliament and into the remit of the Police Service Commission? Dr. Rowley made an announcement in his press conference on Tuesday. The leader of the opposition says that she believes that those situations should have parliamentary oversight, and that should not happen. Of course, this would need opposition support. So if Mrs. Pasal-Bissessar is saying she is not in favor of it, it's going to be a no-go. So
yeah. Alan Reese says yes. Julia S. Batiste says yes. Guy Small says no. DL says yes to the poll. Miss Bonnie West says yes to the poll. All right. Give us a call.
Two 612.
No, 612, that is not for us.
There you go. Direct WhatsApp message 868-318-1021, 222-TALK, 222-8255. That toll-free number working, 866-524.
Toll-free is working. Everything is working. 222-8255. That's working. WhatsApp 3181021. That's working. John Cato. Morning, John. Says yes to the poll. All right. Do you agree with taking the acting appointments of the Commissioner of Police and Deputy Commissioner of Police out of Parliament and into the remits of the police? What is it?
Police Service Commission.
Service Commission. Sherwin Kerr says yes. Thank you, Sherwin. You have a couple of minutes again to vote.
Yeah.
I don't get this.
Did you fete last night, Richard?
Fat? No, I didn't go to Lime or anything like that. No.
I had DJ Pillowcase and Sheet by me.
You had what?
DJ Pillowcase and Sheet. That's the fete I went to.
Oh, good Lord.
Yeah.
Lime seemed well attended, though.
I saw some videos and it didn't seem as packed as I've seen it in past years. But then there were two major events last night at the same time. Lime and Patrice Roberts Council, which seemed very well attended.
Yeah, that a lot of Punch was in the Oval. Fat Nation was in Fatima Grounds. Of course, right now there's a fete going on Caesar's Army is on Maracas Beach as we speak.
Give you a good props, yes.
I think there may be a couple boat rides on too.
Yeah, there are a few boat rides as well. The Harbor Master has one this afternoon. Farmhouse on the Broadwalk. Tribe Ignite is at the stadium tonight. Beach House.
What's the difference between farmhouse and beach house? Is that the same thing?
Well, I just read in my list here. I have no clue. I'm going to DJ Pillowcase and Sheet with a guest appearance by Box Spring.
So our poll this morning, do you agree with taking the acting appointments of Commissioner of Police and Deputy Commissioner of Police out of Parliament and into the remit of the Police Service Commission?
Yeah.
Kenny Harlem now in Valsine.
Yeah. I did John Sherwin Kerr says yes. Marcia Rock says yes. Josie Richardson says yes. CBD saying it's quite bright. Okay. Evans David says yes. Beauty Culture says yes. Kenny and Valsine. Morning, Kenny. You went for your doubles. Your coconut water ready? Yes to the poll. Desmond says, I don't agree. Leave it as it is. Okay. There you go, Desmond. Slick Money Grip. All right. She's going to walk in here any second. There she is. Evie Slick Money Grip says morning. And stay safe. And mask up.
Oh, please say good morning.
He heard
everybody.
You. He heard you.
Good morning, Evie.
China, please, morning.
Rich how are you, Richie?
Rich
I am good.
You're
Nice
good.
to hear
I
you.
haven't seen you in so long. I hope I get to
You're
see you
not happy?
soon.
You're not happy about that?
No.
Oh.
Dr. Richards, good morning.
China, please, good morning.
Terrence Samuels out in Canada. Where in Canada, Terrence? Says yes. All right. Let's get into our major news, gentlemen, because Evie is in. All right. So let's get into it.
This is your news bulletin from Power 102 Digital.
A mystery boat in Tobago is found overturned and leaking oil. Massy Holdings Limited announces the early retirement of its president and CEO. Suspension of the code and registration system for cement. Teacher strike continuing in Guyana. And Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu rejects Hamas' proposed terms. Details in a moment. This is news to 7 o'clock on Power 102 Digital. I'm Avril Sintel Bab. Good morning. A mystery boat in Tobago was found overturned and leaking oil 200 meters off the coast of the Cove Eco Industrial and Business Park. In an emergency press conference on Wednesday, THA Chief Secretary Farley Augustine said the Tobago Emergency Operations Center received a report shortly after 7 a.m. about an overturned vessel. Augustine was unable to confirm if anyone was on board at the time of the overturn. He said as a result, the THA has to engage in an emergency basis an operation to have some discovery on the matter. He added that representatives from TEMA and the Ministry of Energy and Kaizen, or Environmental Services, are present. That meeting is to work out areas of collaboration so that they could take care of all the environmental impacts that they would have pursuant to the overturning of the vessel and the oil spill. He said the green light was given to Kaizen, which has equipment and implements that would be stored in Scarborough in an effort to mitigate further environmental damage from the oil spill. TEMA, he said, can use peat moss, which absorbs hydrocarbons and allows for removal. The TNT Coast Guard is also involved and were on the scene. Massy Holdings Limited announced yesterday the early retirement of Gervais Warner, the group's president and CEO. Warner who has served as group CEO for 14 years, will retire on his 59th birthday on April 6, 2024, Massy said in a statement. Massy said over the course of the next 2 months, Warner will work alongside David Afonso, the chairman of the Integrated Retail Portfolio, who will succeed Warner as the group CEO. Both Warner and Afonso were born in 1965, according to the Massy 2023 annual report. The announcement of Warner's pending retirement comes amid an investigation being conducted by senior counsel Cohen Garcia into allegations made by Massy's former executive vice president and group general counsel Angelique Parasot Potter at the group's 100th annual meeting at the Hilton Trinidad on December 18th. Parliament must be able to scrutinize the appointments of acting police commissioner and deputies, says opposition leader Kamala Persad-Bissessa. The former prime minister said the government's move to bring legislation to change this by removing the need for parliamentary approval is a blatant attempt to undermine public transparency and accountability. On Tuesday, Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley said the government will bring legislation in the next few weeks or days to Parliament to allow the Police Service Commission to make acting appointments for Commissioner of Police and Deputy Commissioners of Police without having to seek parliamentary approval. The Prime Minister also said the current system, which mandates the police service to make a recommendation to Parliament for all acting appointments for the top 2 positions, was an inconvenience. Dr. Rowley said the AG will draft the requisite amendment and it will be brought to the Parliament. This bill carries a special majority and therefore would require opposition support. The Cabinet of Trinidad and Tobago agrees to the suspension of the quota and registration system for cement. With the suspension, there will be no quota on the volume of cement allowed for import. The system for cement was instituted on January 1st, 2021, with an initial ceiling of 75,000 tons of cement allowed for import. This decision was made further to the Trade Ministry's monitoring of market conditions in the cement industry and the recent announcement by Trinidad Cement Limited on February 5th, 2024, of its intention to raise the price of cement by 6.63% for Premium Plus and 7.69% for its Eco Cement, with effect from February 19th, 2024. This price adjustment is the fourth undertaken by TCL in the last 26 months. In 2022, the maximum quota ceiling for cement allowed for importation for the increased was increased for 150,000 tons. This ceiling remained in effect in 2023. Cement remains on the import negative list and will continue to be subject to the licensing regime. This regime will be non-automatic, and applications for a license to import cement must be submitted to the Ministry of Trade and Industry with the requirements that applicants are registered under the Companies Act, have adequate and appropriate warehouse facilities for the safe and reliable storage of imported cement, have an established distribution network, and must ensure all imported cement meets the relevant CARICOM regional product standards inter alia. Meanwhile, in 2022, the maximum quota ceiling for cement allowed for importation was increased to 150,000 tons. The ceiling remained in effect in 2023. Cement remains on the import negative list and will continue to be subject to licensing regime. The statutory dry docking of the APT James has been completed. The vessel returned to service on Wednesday and departed from Trinidad at 4 p.m. The Boko Reef was withdrawn from service for its statutory dry docking exercises and works on Wednesday, and it is expected to return on February 22nd, 2024. These works are necessary to ensure a safe and reliable service, as well as to maintain class certifications. The inter-island sea bridge shall continue to be serviced by 3 vessels, namely the APT James, the Galleon's Passage, and the MV Cabo Star, with additional sailings scheduled during the peak carnival season. Trinidad and Tobago will start play at 2:15 from 4 o'clock play on 2:15 for 4 today at 10 a.m. on day 2 of their 4-day match of the West Indies Championship fixture against defending champions Guyana Harpy Eagles at Connery Sports Club, Connery. Jason Mohammed made 100 not out on day 1, which included 11 fours. Vikash Mohan is also at the wicket with 20. Tion Webster made 50 runs before he was out. You are listening to news on Power 102 Digital to 7 o'clock. In Guyana, teachers again took to the streets across the island to support the Guyana Teacher Union's strike over the government's failure to engage in free collective bargaining since August 2020. The government retaliated by announcing an end to deduction of membership dues on behalf of the union. The teacher strike is expected to last 2 weeks, as was the case on Monday. They went out in their numbers, teaching tools down and armed with placards to chant their displeasure at the 6.5% public servants increase and other issues like the $8,000 uniform allowance. Further afield, Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu has rejected Hamas' proposed ceasefire terms, saying total victory in Gaza is possible within months. He was speaking after Hamas laid out a series of demands in response to an Israel-backed ceasefire proposal. He said negotiations with the group were not going anywhere and described their terms as bizarre. Talks between negotiators are continuing. Back at home from today, a moderate to high concentration surge of Sahara dust is forecast to move across Trinidad and Tobago, spreading across the Lesser Antilles. Another reinforcing moderate to high dust surge will move across TNT from Saturday, February 10th, over the next 10 days. Air quality across TNT will range between moderate and unhealthy for sensitive groups. During the days of a Sahara dust event, you may experience symptoms, but they should decrease as the dust levels reduce. Well, finally, let's find out what's happening with weather news for the period today until midnight. Trinidad and Tobago, mostly sunny, hazy, and breezy, with a low chance of the odd showery interruption favoring hilly areas. Tonight will be mostly fair and hazy. Remember, the Meteorological Office is reminding a significant concentration of Saharan dust present in the atmosphere. Air quality is thereby reduced, and sensitive groups should take the necessary precautions. Look out for a forecast maximum temperature of 33 degrees Celsius at Piarco International Airport and 32 degrees Celsius at Crown Point, Tobago. It is 26 degrees Celsius at both localities. Recapping your headlines at 7 o'clock, a mystery boat in Tobago is found overturned and leaking oil. Massy Holdings Limited announces the early retirement of its president and CEO. Suspension of the quota and registration system for cement. Teachers strike continuing in Guyana, and Israel's Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu rejects Hamas' proposed terms. That was news to 7 o'clock on Power 102 Digital. Look out for more news in detail at 12 noon and an update at 8 o'clock this morning. For more details, log on to power102fm.com.
Up to date and credible. Power 102 Digital.
All righty. Thank you, Avi, for our major news. You can join her again and come at 8 o'clock for our news brief. All right. Quickly, let's see if we have any issues on the highways and on the byways. A lot of people in the fence, so I don't know if that's any traffic. Yeah, just from Piarco to Yui, interchange to Port of Spain, Charlieville towards the interchange. On the Solo, you're not too bad. Riverlet Road, you're not too bad. San Fernando, you're a lot lighter than usual. Eastern Main Road, not bad at all. All right, so that's a quick traffic update for you. All right, so let's see. Terrence Samuel says, oh, Mississauga. Okay, I've lived there before, off Highway 10. Let's see. Anything on WhatsApp? No. All right, so let's get the results of our morning poll. You're muted, Rich.
Our poll this morning was, do you agree with taking the acting appointments of Commissioner of Police and Deputy Commissioner of Police out of the remit of Parliament and into the remit of the Police Service Commission, where the Police Service Commission would do that without parliamentary oversight? We had 25 people voting on the poll this morning. Of the 25 people, 22 of you said yes, you do agree with the suggested change, and 3 of you said no, you don't agree. So 22 of you said yes, you agree. 3 of you said no. Of course, you can continue to vote on this poll throughout the day, through our programming, and we'll give you the final result tomorrow morning, which will be Friday.
Yeah. Bacchanal Friday. Fantastic Friday. Congratulations to Winston Gypsy Peters once again for winning the ex-tempo crown last evening. The Big Yard, the Queen's Park, Savannah.
I see one of the papers has a whole editorial dedicated to Gypsy this morning.
Oh, really?
That he should bow out.
Too late for that now.
It just raises this. I think this Dimash Gras Sunday is going to be one of the most well attended, and well viewed Dimash Gras in a long while. For several different reasons. Gypsy, Marshall Montano, they have a very good lineup, I think, in terms of competitors. So we'll see how it pans out. I hope they produce a good show. I don't go till 3 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, gosh, yes. Well,
But
they're doing
tonight will
one
be
star.
semi-finals of no, that was last night.
What?
Kings and Queens. Was it last night?
Usually it's Carnival's Thursday night.
Usually
I
it's
think that's
Thursday.
tonight.
And I don't know why. I think it might have been last night,
But I saw several pictures of the Drago, what do they call it? The kind of big dragon-like thing that seems to be the one that's going to win. Because it seems to be the most elaborate. But I mean, I ain't seen that much innovation in these kings and queens, but kudos to them for the work they put in. See, a lot of stuff I've seen before. But it's still a lot of work and effort, so kudos to them. We were talking earlier on, Richard, about the curious announcement by Massy that its group CEO and President Gervais Warner, who's been at the helm for 14 years, will take early retirement and bow out on his birthday on April 6th when he turns 59.
Mm-hmm.
And another 59-year-old will succeed him, Mr. David Afonso. So normally if you're doing succession planning, you don't put somebody the same age who almost at retirement. That's so?
Well, there is no retirement age
For private
compulsory retirement age in the private sector.
Well, the statement says he's taking early retirement, so it suggests there's a retirement age for that company.
Yeah, but which suggests that he is leaving at that point, because you could be 75, I guess.
It's a private sector company here.
And it's a private company, so it doesn't matter. I suppose anytime you leave, it's early retirement in a sense.
Which seeks the question, why now?
Well, I'm sure Mr. Warner will, Gervais will make some announcement.
Not in the least bit, he won't.
Maybe he might.
There's no requirement to.
Yeah, you won't.
You have none, but you may, because it's a private enterprise, you may not want the uncertainty. So
uncertainty. They announced a success already. I feel to go on name.
But it could be simply that I've had it where it could be moving on to greener pastures too.
Greener pastures, greener than Massy? What, Apple? Google?
Well, I think there are greener pastures and Massy that are not necessarily Apple and Google. But you don't know. There may be opportunities in a different way that you may want to explore. You never know what people's personal decisions are related.
Or just want to enjoy your life after a stressful 14 years.
Yeah.
And he has transformed Massy.
Which is what we said this morning.
Yeah, he has. You know. He has done a lot of work in terms of that Massy brand.
Yeah, transformed it.
Yeah.
He's done a great job at Massy. But it's an interesting announcement, as we said earlier on, given the controversy that ensued late last year with him at the helm and involving then former executive vice president and group general counsel Angelique Potter, and the fact that she said she provided the concerns in document, which didn't seem to get traction until she presented them at the annual general meeting, which made headlines about all kind of bizarre stuff in terms of her allegations. And then the announcement by Massy that they were conducting an investigation led by Kerwin Garcia, senior counsel, about the allegations. It's a strange. I don't believe in coincidences, and it's interesting that this announcement comes less than 3 months after that. But 3 months after that, you understand?
Mm-hmm.
Somebody who seemed very stable at the helm of Massy for 14 years and did a great job, in my opinion, at Massy. It's a curious development. But I don't think Gervais Warner is going to say anything further apart from what the company has announced in terms of his early retirement and naming a successor who we'll work with for transition in the next 2 months. Doesn't seem like it may have been planned a long time ago. It seemed like a recent decision to me. In fact, the reasons for which are yet to be fully divulged, if at all, because they have no requirement to say anything about why he's taking early retirement. He's retiring on his 59th birthday. So that was a very out from the left announcement yesterday.
But we could try and interview Gervais and see what he said.
Good luck. You could call him since we're good. Good luck. But since you all hangout and stuff, you could we could interview you.
Yeah, since you're aligned.
What was the result of the poll? I didn't, it's not sticking in my head.
22 people said yes, and 3 people said no.
So they agree with moving the thing out of the parliament and into the Police Service Commission. Okay.
What is I know you said that Kamala Prasad-Bissassa is saying that Parliament should have oversight. Why does Parliament, I'm just asking this, maybe I'm being devil's advocate, why does Parliament need oversight of not only the acting appointments, but the substantive appointment of a Commissioner of Police?
And you have hit the nail on the head, Richard Ragoobarsingh. If you think that the Police Service Commission is capable of appointing acting commissioners and acting deputy commissioners, why not take it all out of the hands of politicians?
Mm-hmm. Why do they feel?
Why is Parliament involved at all? If you think
yes,
that the Police Service Commission has the credibility and the capability of doing acting appointments to the post, the highest post in the organization, why not say, well, you know what, let's take the substantive appointment out of the Parliament also and put it in the hands of the Police Service Commission? That is the question I will have. Okay, yes, it's a bureaucratic thing and it's an acting position when somebody's going on vacation or under other circumstances. Just move it out, because at the end of the day, the substantive, and as I said earlier on, it is curious that this comes now to me, because there are 3 names that have been presented to the Parliament by the very same Police Commission, Service Commission, since late last year, the end of last year, that have not yet been debated. And normally, from what I have seen in my memory, somebody can correct me if I'm wrong, when those things go to Parliament, those names, they are almost immediately debated. But the difference with those is I don't think they're acting positions, they're substantive positions.
These are deputy commissioners.
Deputy commissioners of police. There are 3 names that have been put forward. So I don't know, there needs to become some kind of consistency in the approaches to me. They might say, well, the substantive position has more impact, does it? In principle, a substantive commissioner.
Once you're acting in a position, but substantive is substantive.
But substantive is substantive.
But why do politicians, or and Parliament is largely politicians, why is there a need for oversight of the substantive appointment of the Police Service Commission, of a Commissioner of Police, and that Parliament needs to approve? Why can't the Police Service Commission do it? And that's the Police Commissioner, because they have a rigorous process, and whoever comes to the forefront and who they think is their merit list as an independent institution, inverted commas. I have to say inverted commas because you're not totally independent once you have an approving authority above you.
Ditto. Slick money grip. I honestly, as I said earlier on, I don't know how I feel about that situation. I really have to give it some more thought. I said, has there been an issue in the past? Past the classification of a bureaucracy? You understand? To change something by a special, has there been an issue in the past with Parliament coming, okay, bring it for acting? Is it that in emergency situations where if a commissioner gets ill and you need to appoint an acting commissioner or an acting deputy, that you don't want to have to wait and leave the position in abeyance until Parliament sits? Is that the reason? You understand? Is that part of the reason? And if that's the case, why not just be consistent and say that the Police Service Commission, whoever they send up, whoever top their list, go through?
And that's what I'm saying. It's like you're saying you are independent, you have the powers to do what you do.
But I want to have the panel see.
To be sure that it accords with what I think too. And so in a sense, all commissioners of police and in the current position, because the law is not changed, all commissioners of police, substantive or acting, have a certain deference towards parliamentary approval, which in fact connects to whoever the ruling party is, because the ruling party is the one who is going to govern whether you are selected or not, because they're the ones who will have the majority in parliament to approve you or not.
Mm-hmm.
So there is always a certain amount of deference to whoever the ruling party is, and by extension the prime minister, because the prime minister is the one who can say.
Is the prime minister basically chooses the commissioner of police, Richard?
In a sense.
Not in a sense.
Well, not exclusively. I mean, it's coming from a merit list, but
but they have deferred people who top the merit list and say, I don't want this one already.
Yes.
So basically, I don't want this one, I don't want this one, I want this one, I don't want this one.
So it's a strange process.
That word strange is so kind.
Because if there's a merit list, there's a merit list. And
so Terence is saying because the government is responsible for crime, but the government is responsible for creating policies and providing the resources to mitigate crime. And I know what you mean. I just want to clarify. And should have a meaningful role in the selection of key crime-fighting officers. Okay. So then, why, if that is the case, why not leave it the way it is, so you could have a meaningful role in the acting positions too?
Yeah.
Be consistent. Isn't that,
I say independent institutions, and there are very few absolutely independent institutions in the country.
In our construct.
Because there's always been, and let me just hold on to the coattail right here in case I need to tug it. There's always that it's like they say you are independent, except for, and the coattail gets tugged. So it's like
you saying hold on to the coattail. I say hold him by the scruff of the neck. Sometimes it turns so subtly, as coattail. You know that, right?
Yeah.
I don't want you.
I don't know if it's a small island thing.
Oh, hear it.
Maybe it's a small island thing that because we are so small, we feel insecure.
No, I think the size issue is because when you are this small, there's very little room for even dissenters in the government, as opposed to the UK or the US, where even backbenchers can be dissenters. You understand? Without facing severe repercussions. So when you're this small, if you start to move left or even talk left, I will hear about it and you'll face the consequences. When you're this small, and also when you're this small, who isn't connected to whom? In some way, you understand? So and that's the issue with small states. But then there are small states that operate very, very efficiently. I shudder to call the name Japan again, but then they have a different culture and a different governance system. So we could
take some calls on it, I guess, and people can weigh in on the issue. So, but that always puzzled me as a student in law when you looked at constitutional arrangements. That why were we always, in terms of our constitutional construct, why did we always leave some vestige of the power still in the hands of Parliament?
Yeah. All right, we have a call here. Good morning.
Good morning, Steve.
Morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, Dr. Paul. Good morning, Richard.
Good morning.
So then, then the Police Service Commission should be disbanded because it's not an independent body anymore. They might
Why would
as
you say
well be an
that?
employment
I
agency.
don't
And-
follow your logic.
No, because if the Police Service Commission is the one responsible for the police service, like hiring and getting personnel.
No. That's not so. That's not so. The Police Service Commission's remit is the preparation of a merit list for the positions of commissioner and deputy commissioners of police and assessing the performance of them, not any other officers.
Okay.
Yeah, the commissioner of police
Not the whole
is
police
in charge
service.
of the
It's not the whole police service.
Yeah.
Not the whole police service.
No, it's not.
I thought so. Well, then I'll have to agree with this morning's poll then. But that's why I didn't send my answer yet, because I wanted to call in to find out, because I saw in better have no Police Service Commission, you might as well have an employment agency and get that set of people to apply and then send it to the parliament via merit list.
But it's strange.
You know what is so strange is that in the constitutional arrangement we have with service commissions, they were created specifically to isolate them from the sometimes meandering hands, metaphorically, of politicians. And so service commissions were supposed to be a kind of conclave where you had these particular bodies appointing certain public officers without any interference. Yeah, which is why you'd have the Teaching Service Commission, you'd have the Public Service Commission, you have the Police Service Commission, so you have different commissions that do that work.
And all these things don't seem like they're independent anymore because they always have an issue. And I remember Dr. Rowley said, I think he was in opposition, the opposition leader at that time, that he will try to get away, like move away those commissions because like they have finished serve their purpose then. But I never hear him say anything else since that, because those like Teaching Service Commission, for example, it's so much bureaucracy and things happen 15 years down the road and they're now getting a decision. Somebody might retire and the name up in the air, with allegations and nothing came out of that after 15 years,
Even the present construct, let me tell you, something that really grinds me the wrong way. A lot of how our governance system is constructed in the present scenario relies on a basic premise that the person who controls the party that gets the largest number of votes in a general election gets to govern the country, right? First past the post. The person who's in charge of that party has the governance reins of the country. No problem with that, because in our construct, the people have spoken, they've chosen X over Y to govern the party, to govern the country moving forward, and that person / government must be given enough leeway to govern the country because they'll be held accountable for it. Make sense? What kind of sends me a little crazy sometimes, and we're talking about the government's role in now choosing a commissioner of police after a process whereby an independent body, the Police Service Commission, assesses the candidates who put their names forward as to their expertise and or training and education, and I guess other factors may be taken into consideration because they do an interview of the persons, and they create this list of hierarchy. You score X, you score Y, you come in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. No problem, in principle. And then this name, the Police Service Commission, which you are as a government saying that you trust as a credible, integritous organization, creates this list of hierarchy. You have the power to say, I don't want 1, I want 3. And you don't need to give any reason.
Right.
How is that in keeping with, and I have no problem with you having the choice to do that, But to me, it's incumbent on you in terms of transparency to say, I know this person coming first, but I don't want this person because X and Y.
Yeah.
and give a credible reason why you didn't choose one, but you chose 4 or 5 or 3. You have the power. I have no problem with it. But in terms of transparency, say, one has come up according to this, but you see, X and Y is the case. Because then it, to me, undermines the work of the Police Service Commission in preparing that list. You are saying that they prepared that list, but I ain't so sure about 1 and 2.
Yeah. So, but you see, Paul, it just reduces the Police Service Commission to being nothing more than basically a recruitment agency. That's it. You're really a recruitment agency.
But maybe that's the intention. I don't know.
I have outsourced these positions to you, and once I finish the selection, the absolute final selection, you then monitor. So
then don't put a hierarchy listing. Send all the names and choose.
Exactly, because if it is, I've given you a merit list, then the merit list is based on the rigorousness of my system.
Say all these people qualify. You choose who you want. When you bypass 1 and 2 and choose 3, which under the present contract you have the right to do, and you don't give a reason, it leans people into thinking, well, there's something about 1 and 2 that may not be appropriate that you don't want to say, but the public has a right to know. But then you might say, well, I don't want to tarnish nobody's reputation, but by bypassing 1 or 2, you have indirectly. You understand? Because it can't be a personality. Well, I want to work with this one, but I don't want to work with this one. Good morning. Good morning.
Morning, caller.
Yeah. Hi, good morning. Good morning.
Morning.
Terence Brown's point is very salient. I agree what he's saying, although I don't agree with the government's actions on fighting crime. However, I have a different take on it. And my take is, I haven't heard what your discussions coming because I've been holding, but taking away that from the parliament, this has nothing to do with politics, eh? I have to agree with the opposition leader. You take away that scrutiny or that oversight. That means the Police Service Commission now has all power to put whoever they wish to act, saying that absolute power can corrupt. So I just don't think they should take it away. Bureaucracy, you could find a way to fast track certain things. Okay? So I think they should leave it with the parliament so that if the Police Service Commission put up somebody and they say, oh, that guy's a thief foul, guess what? We don't want him. Let's get somebody else. Just as how...
But you can't.
And someone came with a report and said, listen, we don't want that person, and that person was put aside, to the side. Okay? If you take away that from the parliament, then the Police Service Commission could do whatever they wish, whenever they want. So my take is a little different. I think they should leave it as is, so that Parliament can have a debate and decide whether yes or no. And especially a post like Commissioner of Police, Acting and Deputy Commissioner of Police, that's a very high-ranking post that will deal with the future of the country when it comes to fighting crime. Okay, gentlemen, that's my take on it. Thank you.
All right, big guy. Thank you.
To me, the whole concept you're talking about absolute power, you're just switching it from one player to the next. You're switching it from the Police Service Commissioner ultimately to the Prime Minister, because the Prime Minister is the one who controls the majority. We are not operating in a system, caller, where you have a merit list and you said, okay, the person is number 1. Let's grill candidate number 1 before a parliamentary, even if it's before the entire 41, and a select group are grilling this person,
like what they do in the U.S.
Senate, what they do with
the congressional hearings,
judicial appointments and stuff to the Supreme Court or whatever in the United States, and then people can vote on conscience. If you're not bound to the Prime Minister,
to the whip.
Yeah, if you're not bound to the whip, then it means you have a ventilated process whereby it's ventilated in the parliament and then people vote on conscience whether we think this is the correct. But that's not the system you're operating in.
No.
What we're operating in is really who the Prime Minister or the hierarchy.
Basically, what it is, that's what it comes down to. Who is the king?
Who's the king?
Who's the king? Or the queen? Who is the king or the queen? That's basically that's the system. That's essentially, fundamentally, the system we're operating in. And we have to admit that to ourselves. That is what it is. And in the absence of, and they have no requirement to give a reason why I don't want 1 and 2, I take 3. And they don't.
Yeah,
So,
because you have the majority, so you could just say nay, nay, nay.
Yes. Yes or no. But we're talking about this, but given the leader of the opposition's statement, yes, it's not going to go through.
Yeah.
You understand? Because it requires a special majority. So it's clearly, according, if we are to go by Mrs. Pasabi-Sessa's statement, yes, it's dead in the water. You understand? It's just going to be a debate.
Mm-hmm.
That's all. It's just going to be a debate.
Yeah. All right. 222-8255. Toll free North Americans. 866-525-1099. We are taking your calls. It is 19 minutes before the hour of 8 o'clock.
Congratulations, Gypsy, again, and Squeezy Rankin. Gypsy extempored them out of the place last night, yes. But he's very good at it, huh?
He's very good at extemporing.
I mean, when you have people like Black Sage and Lingo and them who also very good, you understand? You don't get a easy time in those situations. So you have to, and it's live. So and you don't get do they get the topics in advance? But if you choose
no, I don't think so. No,
blindly, you have to choose the topic. You don't know what comes. So you have to think on your feet.
No, you have to. That's the whole
idea behind it, to test your skill on the spot.
The art form,
that's the art form. We may prepare no Kaiser for you tomorrow, so I know when they're busy home writing and getting orchestra together and thing.
Right, you said you were writing one,
and I changed my mind.
Oh Lord!
And I don't know that you. I don't know that you wrote any.
I didn't write any.
Precisely. So where's your point?
Well, you said I'm just
feeling the congestion already. Feeling the congestion starting this morning. Come on, good morning, Zena. Come on, Zena. Time to call. Get up. What's wrong with you? I ain't see Mrs. R send a message for the morning. Richard, you had out busy out.
Mrs. R? She hasn't sent a message, but now she's probably
not for the morning, no. Steve, am I wrong?
Nope.
No? Like she went lime last night without you, Papa.
You always always have an underlying snarkiness when you're talking about Mrs. R. I must bring it to your attention.
Maybe it's unrequited passion. You know she gonna call now, right? Or message. If she up, because she wouldn't be up and not messaging. You know, she's giving me the roll eyes whole morning.
Oh yes. Oh yes, it was roll eyes.
And I know Zena was home last night. Zena didn't go out at all.
Yeah, the amount of preparation for Zena to go out. Oof.
She preparing for Juvie. Right now she rubbing down them knees and rubbing down them joints and thing because they take a process to get Zena ready for the house.
Yeah.
You understand? And she had to rub down the skin and roll the legs and thing to make it sure it's smooth because them stockings do hold together everything as much as they used to a long time. See that, Brown?
Oh my God. Well, good morning to all the visitors to our shores of T&T. Good morning to you all. Wade B, Kenny.
I see the tourism company of Trinidad and Tobago has really put out a planned number of outing services for this year. Miss Felicia Rashad, she's making the rounds of the Panyards, and she went to Shea Lovelace's art gallery and went to Bamboo Cathedral, and she seems to be in awe of Trinidad and Tobago, which is always good news. Go back and spread the gospel of the wonderful place that we are. You know, and it'll be interesting. I saw a picture of the airport, but I don't know if it's a new picture with a line stretching straight up by the staircase when you're coming downstairs, but I don't know if it's a new picture.
Oh.
The line into immigration.
Yeah.
Not immigration, yeah.
No, my cousin came in on Sunday And he said, there are two lines coming into immigration. He said one for Trinidad and Tobago citizens. He said that had about 20 people, and one for people who are not Trinidad and Tobago citizens. He said that had like 500. He said the line was forever. And he said he was in back of the line because he didn't have a Trinidad and Tobago passport. I think he probably had his English passport. And he said, but what was good, because he said the line was unimaginably long. It was, and he was at the back of the line.
That probably precise, so it was up to the staircase when you come down.
Right. And so he said, but what happened is that they came along and they said, okay, people with foreign passports, once you were born in Trinidad and Tobago, you can come into the Trinidad and Tobago citizen line. And so he moved. So he came, and he said he got through quickly. So he said, some people came out of that 500 long line and went into that line because of that.
Which means about 3 or 4 flights landed.
Probably.
And he said they met people there.
Yeah.
But he came in on a flight from London. And he said, but it was just crazy. But he said once they said that, once you were born in Trinidad and Tobago, regardless of your passport type, you could come into the citizen.
Well, good for them. At least they're responding to the situation.
Yeah.
They are. We have a call, gentlemen.
That eased it up,
Yeah. Good morning, caller.
Yeah.
Good morning, gentlemen.
Oh, boy.
Good morning, Zina.
All you call me name, all you pong me, don't talk about Paul. Yes, Paul.
You like that book?
You buy your Bengay yet?
What is the one that they say when you call the name 3 times, they come?
I don't use those things. I always fit and ready to go. And Paul have the color, the stockings on point.
See them wrong.
What spice?
I'm tired by it. I must know what this is. You're tired. I'll bring you 7 out there. You can't go there. It's not like you're 17 again, 18 or 22. You had to pull it together yourself.
You bought stockings.
Oh God, only have names, only just, especially if it's lips, is you only know how to beat, only know how to beat, only could real beat people.
But you beat me. The pictures
you're like the candy man. When you call the candy man name 3 times, that is it. He's come for you. All we have to say is Zina. No, she reach.
Well, rum glorious rum. When you call my name, I'm bound to come.
How are you, Zina? You went partying last night? I tell them no, I know you was home. But I leave you home or 11 o'clock. Meaning if you went out after that.
I was like Steve last night. Yes, Steve. He early. I tried to watch. I was listening. I was trying to do 2 things. I was listening to the extempo thing, and I was watching Kings and Queens. But halfway now, I couldn't make.
But since when I have a problem for you, you're doing 2 things right now, me and Strongy.
Oh, Jesus.
Lord have mercy.
Since when you can't do 2 things? That is your specialty, doing 2 things one time.
On that rabbit hole, quick.
What's up? What sometimes you just need a rest, You understand?
Carnival time, use a carnival baby. You need the rest carnival time. Don't go looking for that red wig straight away.
Don't go looking for what?
The red wig you have on top of the cupboard straight away. I find it looking a little tattered. No one I don't want you to look like looking like a old mask.
There's no need for that wig at all. I have enough on my head.
Stay quiet, Paul.
That's too easy.
Oh,
that one's too easy.
Only not easy, Paul, you not easy. And Richard, lips take you on for the morning. So
no, she missing an action.
Don't worry about Mrs. Arna. Don't worry about Mrs. Arna.
Probably picked up.
Oh,
she went Patrice last night.
Your business had to be quiet and down low, but you want mine on the air.
Morning, Charmaine.
Oh, God. Oh, Lord, yes. Oh, Charmaine, I must be glued to the radio all now.
I ain't even buying to ask you about the pool. Wherever the doc say you're going with.
I tell you already when you see I am show what I want to say, I am but into call.
You ain't in business what the poll is. What the doc say you're going with?
Well, I just like
I.
You see, you're coming to that side door so often now that it rubbing off. I just like you. I heard what you said. You have to think about it, and
I have to think about it. I don't know what's the mistake. Well, the Prime Minister did say that he's up to date with the bureaucracy and of the situation, but I don't know if you could classify oversight as bureaucracy all the time or sometimes. But it's not going to pass anyway, given what the leader of the opposition has said. It's not going to pass. It's just a process they're going through. But I guess they wanted on the record that they tried to do it and the opposition objected. Maybe that's the object. Is that what we're going to, is that we're doing?
Well, I believe so.
Okay.
Everything.
And I ain't see you. I didn't see any pictures of you in Belize House on Monday.
I'm trying to find out my business now.
I looked.
Business in the road.
Good, great interest. I didn't see any pictures of you in Belize House. That's not wait. I have something for you. That's not wait.
Oh, Jesus, angels.
Try that. I once at a red party, I am there. So you don't try that.
Okay.
I'm missing nothing according to you with how you call it, the Belize House.
I didn't see you in pictures in the Belize House.
The Belize Fete.
Listen, will you stop minding the business?
That will never happen.
Right.
That will never happen. We are here to mind your business. Look out. Where is it, boy? Like I dump it already now, man. Nah, don't tell me that. You know what I'm looking for, right?
No idea.
Gentlemen, you all have a wonderful day, yes?
Same to you, darling. Be safe.
Yeah. But go and mix up all your and cook, burn up and cook up all your mud and oil.
What?
I'll talk to all you tomorrow. To bake and boil all your mud. What you be morning.
You playing Juve? All right. Have a good day.
I don't play Juve again. I telling all year to go and fix up all your mud.
You playing Juve whole year?
All right.
Whole year.
And especially if Richard playing in a Rima, they all let us play mud and paint.
You see, it's only on one thing you played in Juve whole year. We've seen all over time.
I'm playing Mass whole year, man, so don't worry about me.
All right. Have a great day, darling.
Good day to all of you, gentlemen.
All right. Have a good one, Zena.
Bye.
Good morning.
Good morning, everybody.
Mr. Patrick, morning.
Morning, Mr. Patrick.
Ragoobarsingh, everybody, morning.
Morning.
I was listening to you this morning with the cement price. You know this thing going to affect building industry adversely. Cement going up again. You know what I blocked already?
But didn't and correct me if I'm wrong, Paul. Didn't the news indicate that the state was not going to allow the importation of cement unrestricted?
No, the state they are suspending the quota and registration system. So there'll be no quota given what has happened with TCL's raising of the prices. So yes, well, I guess essentially what you're saying is right. Yeah. So they're opening it to competition. So you could import more than what the quota would have indicated before. The quota was the ceiling was 75,000 tons of cement allowed for import since January 1st, 2021. And I guess to moderate this price increase as announced by TCL, they have suspended that regulation.
Remember there was rock hard and there was a whole issue with rock hard.
Run them out.
Monopoly.
Run them out of here.
Yeah, I don't know what I'm the rock hard.
There's some issues they say with some tax and all kind of things that they run them out of this country. But you know how much a man who's trying to build a little room now. You know what money I put on again, boy?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Boy. Hey, the little poor man will always suffer, you know, because these big companies can bring in this man.
Is TCL totally private or is it the government have shares in that? I don't know.
This a man who build a house, a little room, boy, like the pressure again. The price of house going up now too again. Because they build a house, government building a house, whoever building, the price going up.
Yeah.
Yep.
KM had said earlier on that I just found it here. They chased Rockhard out of the market by introducing, this is what KM is saying, a 35% import tax and implementing the quota. So that's how why Rockhard went.
Yeah, you know, when Rockhard. So, yeah, that is boy. Well, have a good carnival, enjoy yourself.
Thanks, buddy.
All right.
Okay, Mr. Patrick.
You'll go online with Zena a little bit.
In the balance house?
In the Belize, yeah, well, however Paul is it.
Belize.
Belize. All right.
Belize.
Thank you.
Belize.
Good morning to all those up the islands. I will tell you there's so much wind. The other night, St. Kitts had hurricane force winds, no rain. A friend of mine who is on a cruise on Oasis of the Seas actually sent me a video of the winds out on the Bahamas and Jamaica, and a lot of winds. The sea is very rough, going all the way up to the southern America, up to Cozumel and so on.
Are we expecting any cruise ships for the weekend?
We're supposed to have a cruise ship today, and we're supposed to have a cruise ship on Tuesday.
Okay.
Cruise ship comes in on Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Okay, so all right, that's good. I would imagine that they would have planned to dock into the carnival weekend. They usually stay like 48 hours, so they'll get something into the weekend, and then the Tuesday one will be able to, if they dock early enough, they'll be able to get somebody Tuesday mass.
Yeah, that happened last year.
And then if they dock on Tuesday, they'll be here in time to see. He's so distracted he didn't get the cue.
Oh, sorry. I was looking to see whether Rockhard still had a presence of the Caribbean, like in Barbados, because they used to have presence, a presence in several countries, including Guyana, Barbados, St. Martin, etc. So I was just looking to see. Yes, of course, Ash Wednesday next week. The Trinidad and Tobago Carnival Comedy Week begins with Nikki Crosby, 50ish and Still Hot AF, the Carnival edition, which starts on Ash Wednesday and then will be Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. And then Saturday and Sunday, we switch over to Bacchanal Bubble and Bad Behavior. All of this is taking place at the Central Bank Auditorium in downtown Port of Spain. Trinidad and Tobago Carnival Comedy Week. Of course, tickets are already on sale at all usual outlets. And you can check RR Productions theater page for all of the information, including how to buy tickets online.
Yeah. Have a great day.
Jewel of the Sea. Jewel of the Sea is arriving on Carnival Tuesday morning at 9 a.m. It will leave at 6 p.m. and it will bring to our shores 2,573 passengers.
Wonderful. So they could walk through Port of Spain for 4 or 5 hours and it
that will be the
carnival enjoyment.
Yeah.
All right. Y'all have a great day. Be safe. Trinidad and Tobago says she'll be here on Tuesday. I don't know if she's on the ship, but enjoy. Looking forward to you coming in. Have a great day. Look out for the Sahara dust. It's intensifying today, and be safe on the roads.
Boy, is it ever. All right. Have a good one.
Have a fantastic day. Whatever you do, remember to smile and laugh. It's great for your health. Bring some joy into your life.
All righty. Chat with you tomorrow, Richard.